This is my friend Minu, a very special lady. Uh, so I will let her describe her experience with the supercoherence frequencies. She's been using them for a long while, and she does some very incredible work. So I rate um, her stories, if you like, very highly. Here goes. Go on, Minu.
Thank you, Thrity. I've had the pleasure and the privilege to actually experience a variety of frequencies, including even before they became packaged in the form of frequencies. And I have a very active logical brain, and now I've gone on my own path of awakening. And I have to say, the first thing I want to say is the original frequencies.
Are you talking of the supercoherence frequency?
Supercoherence, the return to love, supercoherence frequencies. Those frequencies really opened my field up. And becoming coherent with my field, it was not possible for me to continue living the lifestyle that I had created with a front of material success. It catapulted me at such a speed to connect to the calling of my soul. And within no time at all, I embarked on a series of journeys of awakenings. And it was in those journeys of awakenings that I was given that the calling of my soul is to connect humans and humanity to the miracle that they are, and for expecting and accepting miracles to become the norm. And yes, there were many things that I did, Thrity, but I didn't know most of the things that I was getting into. I know for a fact that the foundation was provided and created for me by the supercoherence frequencies. I used the supercoherence frequencies at the time that my mother became very ill, and she was put into a ventilator. It was supposed to be removed in 4 days. She was with it for 40 days. I used the supercoherence frequencies so that pain could be relieved, and she was able to communicate what she needed to communicate in that state of coma. I opened myself up. I was, of course, using the frequencies myself, so she and I were in active communication, and I was writing and writing and writing her words in her language, which is Hindi, a very, very advanced form of Hindi. She was sharing what she was experiencing, and then she crossed over. She said that she wasn't leaving because she wanted the incompletion between me and my father to be dealt with, and she said she would leave once that is done. I didn't know if this is what I wanted or if I was really hearing her right. I did what I needed to do to complete on my relationship with my father, and within 10 minutes of that completion, I was standing next to my mother holding her hand. My dad came into the room, he held her hand, and we two were the only ones present when Mom departed. And I know that the return to love, I was wearing the pink frequency myself. I had the blue one on the photograph of my dad, unbeknown to him, and I had the supercoherence frequencies around my mother, under her pillow or whatever support they had supporting her neck. And that was an amazing experience. It was a real experience of completion. And then she started her journey as she crossed over, and she guided me to bring my book and start writing. And as she lay in the coffin, in the freezer, in this funeral parlor where there were hundreds of people visiting her, I was just sitting on the other side of the coffin with my back towards it, with my book, and I was writing. I was not looking at what I was writing. I had my tears streaming down my eyes, and I was just writing as my mom described what she was going through every step of the way. It was a lesson in what death is and how that occurs and what one goes through, what the different levels are. This level of clarity to be able to receive this kind of communication from her and other spirit guides who came forward as well, and this journey has continued, I know for a fact has occurred because I've been using the supercoherence frequencies. You know, my field has truly become coherent. It wasn't the most pleasant journey to get to that stage. You know, I didn't listen to Thrity when she said, don't use it for more than 20 minutes. And I used it for more than that. And, you know, had some initial bouts of shocking, traumatic, explosive anger, feeling utterly victimized, can't able to move, and completely stuck in a place. Had those things, but once I learned how to work with them, you know, what was actually going on, I was able to then regulate myself. And once I regulated myself, then I can really be with these frequencies as long as I want. That has been hugely, hugely impactful.